Welcome back to Something to Noodle On. I'm your host, Mac.
And I'm Hannah.
We're average 30-somethings exploring the complex questions that keep us awake at night.
Lately, luck versus hard work has been on our minds. Have you ever looked at someone successful and thought, wow, they worked hard to get to where they are, but those other thoughts start to creep in and you think, well, yeah, but they also got lucky.
Sure, hard work matters, but also some people have to meet the right person, post that video at the right time, or have supportive parents, money, or even just opportunities. And then you see people who are working just as hard, but never get the same outcome.
So today we're asking the question, are we where we are because of hard work or just because of luck? Let's talk about it on Something to Noodle On.
Some might call it being in the right place at the right time, and some believe it's the hard work and dedication that got us there. But could it be that success is something we earn over time? Or maybe some people are just downright lucky. But what even is luck? By definition, luck is the phenomenon where events occur by chance or accident that significantly impact an individual's life. Whether that impact is positive or negative depends on how the individual interprets the situation based on their mindset towards the experience. This puts luck on a spectrum and can be different for all of us.
Yeah. We've heard the saying, being in the right place at the right time, but is being in the right place actually luck, or
maybe
did the hard work that you did put you there in that right place? What does this look like, right? It could be as simple as bumping into someone and striking up a conversation at a coffee shop that leads to career opportunities.
But was that lucky though? Was it? Or was it just statistically bound to happen, right? Because if both of you are just frequenting the same coffee shop every morning, wouldn't conversation just naturally start to flow and you bump into that other person like the 30th time that month, right?
Right.
I don't know. An interesting article, though, from Psychology Today referenced that people who view themselves as being lucky just naturally expose themselves to more opportunity. They go to networking events, they move to new places, they try different things, and are typically more social than those who view themselves as unlucky.
That's really interesting because it kind of goes back to that, if you bump into that person, you could be like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bump into you. Or you could turn that and be like, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. And then compliment them, maybe like a genuine actual compliment to strike up a conversation or break that ice. Now, is that luck or is that you being determined and putting in the hard work to actually start that conversation?
To actually be sociable or again, going back to that coffee shop reference, if you always go, say every single Friday, payday, whatever, you treat yourself and you get a little latte moment.
Right.
You always see the same people in line because you guys are on the same schedule when you have to be at work, right?
Right.
Eventually, aren't you going to be like, oh, fancy seeing you here, and just
strike
kind
up
of
a conversation?
Yeah, strike up a conversation because you're familiar. It's a familiar face you see all the time, right?
Yeah, but it's do you push yourself because of the motivation that you have inside of you and that mindset and that hard work that you can put into that to actually make that?
You put hard work to learn how to be sociable instead of being not. Yeah.
Another phrase we hear a lot is, well, it's all about who you know. And to get that foot into the door. But how do we meet these people?
That is a really good question, right? Because is it part of that routine that's luck? Or is doing something random outside of our routine going to cause luck, allowing us to meet all these different people, right? I don't know. I think there's something to be said about the effort in the connections that you're making. Talking to people and telling them about your aspirations might open up doors for opportunities later on in life. Or even just throwing your hat in the ring for an opportunity you see at a networking event, but you actually have to go and do the work and go and network. So
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to, meeting people, I think is for some the hardest part, but for others it comes so naturally.
Yeah, I agree. I would say like as a personal kind of example, I guess would be like me meeting you.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh my God, tell me more.
Oh my God. Okay. So, back when the pandemic was kind of doing its thing,
Oh yeah. Oh my
we
gosh.
were at home and we started watching, the kids started really watching like you and AFMAO and everything like that online, right?
Mhm.
And then I realized that you streamed and I had no idea.
You're like, what is streaming?
What is this? And so I started hanging around in your community, and then you had mentioned that you were like looking for some more help with it and stuff. And so I volunteered myself. I was like, okay, well, let's do this. And now since then, like we've become friends, and that opportunity
we've done so much.
Yeah, and that opportunity that presented itself, I don't know would have happened if I didn't take that chance or if I didn't take that
You
risk.
just threw like as we said, throwing your hat in the ring, just
throwing my hat in the ring. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big like believer in telling people about like your aspirations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So some of you guys might know this story, but a lot of you might not. So Shadow and I have been friends for a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. We were coming up as like little baby streamers together, like back in like 2017, 2018 kind of era. And he had told me that he always wanted to be a voice actor. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. You know, like we were just kind of like, we were in line, just kind of talking, right? Mm-hmm. And then I got pulled into the AFMAO stuff, which I'll tell you guys that story a little bit later in the podcast. But when the people at AFMAO, they were looking for a voice actor and they were like, oh yeah, we need someone with a deep voice. And I was like, I got you.
I got you. Yeah.
I got you. And so I gave them Shadow's contact information, and then the rest is history, right? Like Shadow's been a part of the AFMAO story ever since. And yeah, it's just about telling people, hey, I'm interested in doing this. And then at least for me, if I hear of an opportunity that one of my friends could benefit from, I'm like, oh yeah, I have someone for that. Like here, I'll hook you guys up, you know, and see how that all comes to be. So yeah, definitely who you know is important, and also just having the audacity to like put your hat in the ring and just get what you want.
Being like, hey.
Well, I think that's also especially true for like today's job market. Mm-hmm. How do you even get jobs anymore? Like, I feel like a regular resume isn't enough anymore. Like you need to know someone in that department to almost vouch for you.
Right. And I think that also like brings another point too, but like without getting things too heavy, I think it's important to acknowledge privilege plays a huge role in this as well.
Yeah.
Like we don't get to choose who our parents are, where we live, or what elementary school we go to. Hell, we don't even have enough money to like have those extracurricular activities, right? Some people don't. And so
that's a privilege.
That's a privilege. So
that's interesting. Like I'm lucky to not have to think about that when I was a kid, that because I was in extracurriculars, right? Like I was in Girl Scouts, I was in softball, I did swimming, I did soccer, and all of that is a privilege. And had I found out that maybe I'm fucking awesome at soccer, I wasn't, but maybe I found out I was at an early age, my mom could have put a lot of resources into helping me be better at soccer, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I think something else that can be easily overlooked because it feels just really normal to us is encouragement from our environment. Like if you're being told your dreams in life are realistic instead of impossible, you'll have a higher chance of achieving them because you believe it's going to happen, right?
Yeah, like I believe that for sure. Like if parents, teachers, or people you work with are encouraging growth and confidence within yourself, you feel like you can do anything, right? Because you have that support. So like how much easier is hard work when someone believes in you, right?
Yeah, that encouragement, that like extra push. Like I always think of like in this example, right? You're running a marathon and it's the people in the crowd that are like, yeah, go, you can do it. That like pushes you to keep running, even though you're like, bitch, I'm on my 15th mile. Like, fuck you, you know?
My leg's about to give out right now.
Yeah. I pissed myself 2 miles ago. Like, because they do. Runners literally pee themselves.
No, that does happen for sure.
Yes.
But like, it's definitely one of those things too, is like, for example, my art, you know, I always wanted to be involved in art, right? There were times when I was told like, oh, you need to find an actual job.
Oh.
And I was like, okay. And so so that discouraged me from doing my art or putting my art at the forefront. And now in a place of my own confidence and my own hard work, that I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do my own art, right? And pursue this myself. I'm now teaching art classes.
I know.
And a job that I love.
Badass.
So it's a lot of fun for me. And so it's definitely one of those things of like, if you have the right, I think, motivation too, when someone believes in you. So.
Yeah. Well, I also wonder if the opposite can be true, right? Like, I am a spiteful person. And so, and I know this is a very negative trait. I am working on it, you know? But I remember I had told my dad that I wanted to go to school for journalism. Like, specifically, like, broadcast journalism is what I wanted to do. Oh, and he was like, you don't think you can do that, do you? Like was doubting that I could have that kind of a job. And I was like, of course I do, you know? And to prove him wrong, I stuck with it. And I fucking did that shit. I did that shit for several years until I realized that shit doesn't make money. and then we got out because journalism doesn't make any money. But yeah, it's definitely like the right environment to encourage you. Like, yes, I believe in you. You can do this. And also that environment of fuck you, I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely motivation in that as well, I feel. Yeah. For sure.
Okay. But what if luck is something that you can learn to control? All right. Stick with me here, right? How can we learn to be more lucky? Well, if we accept that luck is less about destiny and more about behavior, then one would think we could train ourselves to be luckier. We must shift our mindset from external focus of control, which is waiting for the universe to deliver the windfall, to an internal one where you manufacture the conditions for good things to happen.
Ooh, that's a good point. I would say probably a good way to create luck is by adding variety in your life.
Oh.
So like think of it this way. If you talk to the same people, eat at the same 5 restaurants, you mathematically minimize your chance for a serendipitous encounter.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. To catch a lucky break, to have to be in the path.
You have to be in the path of a good one, right?
Yeah, you have to be in the path of a good one, right? So tiny deviations from your routine could open the door just enough for something unexpected to come in.
Yeah, I kind of like that. So we got to change things up to be lucky.
Yeah, you gotta kind of deviate from your normal, which to be honest can be also pretty damn scary if that's not something you're used to doing. But if you throw in that little extra difference, it could make that difference.
Yeah.
So
maybe take a different route on your way home, or strike up a conversation in the checkout line. Like, instead of doing self-checkout, actually go to the regular checkout and talk to somebody. Yeah, because I feel like it's those moments that, like, I'll bring it back to the shadow moment, for example. I never would have met Shadow if my friend Max, so we were at a convention. I think it was TwitchCon, to be honest. It was like midnight. And my friend Max is like, hey, roll through this bar. We're going to be here for a while, blah, 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 blah. It's like literally like midnight, 12:30. Like, I'm tired, but I'm like, you know what? Like, we're here to network. Like, that's literally why we pay all this money to come. Fine, I'll go.
Yeah.
I go to this bar, Shadow's sitting on the couch, and I sit next to him, and I'm just like, hey, like, I'm Mac, blah, blah, blah. We start talking. He gives me his business card. And I was like, yeah, my friend texted me to come. And he was like, dude, me too. I was like, Max? He was like, yeah. And I was like, what? We run in the same circle. We had no idea. And so, yeah, that's how I met Shadow. And then a couple years later told me about the voice acting stuff. And then that I got him involved with the AFMAO stuff. But had I not gone to that bar, I never would have met Shadow. Shadow never would have been an AFMAO, you know?
Yeah.
It's those little encounters that change everything.
Yeah.
I think we all can agree that luck has a part to play for sure. Timing, who you know, opportunities you were exposed to all matter. But what if hard work has its own role in creating luck and opportunities? We can't ignore all the unseen hard work that is happening in the background and the rejection that came with it, because that part sucks, right?
Yeah.
Because sure, being in the right place at the right time is lucky, but being prepared for that moment, that takes time.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Well, here, let's define hard work also.
Yeah,
so hard
we'll
work,
take it back.
Yeah, hard work can be defined as the application of sustained, strenuous effort, focus, and endurance toward a specific goal or task. It can take persistence and determination to complete tasks.
My mind, when you said strenuous effort, literally said gross. And I was like, I almost said it out loud.
You're valid for that though, too. Because, like, you know, the hard work that you put into a goal or task will show itself and people will notice, right?
That's
Whether
true.
that hard work is put into yourself, your job, honing a skill, a relationship. Hard work is the bridge between preparation and opportunity.
Yeah, okay. I like this thought of preparation and opportunity. Because if you think about it, would a lucky opportunity even matter if you weren't ready for it, right?
Right.
If you got a job opportunity, do you have the skills to even keep it? Or if you met the love of your life, are you emotionally in a spot to receive that love and give it back in a healthy way, right? All of these things take hard work to even get to that point in the first place. But can it be defined as hours worked, discipline, emotional effort, or is it just consistent progress over time?
Ooh, right. So like the progress that you like the hard work and the progress that you put into yourself.
Yep.
Does that itself present that opportunity and that luck?
I think it does. Okay. When you said progress you put into yourself, so that immediately makes me think of like therapy, right? So
yeah.
You're working on yourself to be a better person. Maybe you're damaged, right? You have some baggage from
some traumas. Yeah.
Trauma. Yeah. Everyone has it. Like our parents all fucked us up. Like we love you, mom and dad. We knew that you didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah.
But boy, are we paying for it, right? So yeah, like our parents, past relationships, friendships, like all of life's little things leave a mark on us.
Right.
And it's our job to do the work so that we don't make our scars other people's problems, right?
Right.
So when you're getting into a new relationship, say you meet somebody and they've done the work, they're healed, right?
Right.
If you're not healed, you are going to destroy that relationship. You're going to self-sabotage. You're going to go into some old habits and ways and not be ready to receive that love. But if you've done the work, right? You've had that progress, then I think you're just going to be better off for it. And the people around you, relationships and all, are going to benefit, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that too. I mean, that could also be, that could be said for a job as well. You know, the hard work or if you're opening up a business, right? Too.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think of it like that.
So like when we put in the hard work towards our goals or tasks that we hoped to achieve and our hard work doesn't pay off, it's disappointing, right?
Yeah, it is.
This is where the persistence and continued hard work play a part here.
Okay.
The no, or the you're not what we're looking for right now, is unavoidable, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's an unavoidable chance when taking the risks and working towards what goals you are working towards.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like it takes the right mindset, though, to not be deterred from like that constant perceived failure. Because that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Success isn't the absence of failure, but the willingness to keep going through it, right? Which
Yes.
I really like that. And I'm going to say it again.
Say it again, please.
Say it again, girl, right? Success isn't the absence of failure, but the willingness to keep going through it.
Yeah.
This is especially important when thinking about hard work that doesn't pay off the right way. Like working out and going to the gym, those are gradual results that many people even quit before they see the benefits of.
Right. Same.
You're like, I already quit.
Well, no, I mean, like, yes, I've been trying to lose, here's a personal story. I've been trying to lose weight for like 10 plus years. Okay. After having kids and then being diagnosed with certain things and stuff like that. Well,
Yeah.
I've been putting in the hard work and I have not been seeing results. Okay. Except until recently when I've kind of got set on the right track as far as like medications to help me with my lady parts.
Yeah. Little
Right.
bits.
My little lady bits. And so now as I go to the gym and I go work out and I go row and I go do my HIIT classes and I go do my yoga.
Damn, girl, you're doing a lot.
I'm doing a lot. I'm doing the stuff. I'm putting in that hard
I'm over here in my
work.
pajamas. You're over here doing HIIT classes. Like,
but that's the thing, is like I put in the work and now finally I am seeing those results. And it took a long ass time and a lot of like self-doubt and almost giving up, but being persistent in my hard work has definitely shown me the fruits of my labor, so to speak. So,
well, yeah. And like, I feel like there's so many instances that like people can think of when you're like, man, is this even worth it? Right? Like,
yeah.
I'm doing all this extra work. I'm putting all this hours into something and I'm not seeing benefits from it. And I think that could especially be true when we look at like today's internet culture. People are putting and making up like YouTube videos, right? And like that was a big component on why I stopped uploading because like I was making some really good money in like my heyday, right? Like several grand a month. And it was great. It was great. I loved it. And then the amount of money that I had to continuously put in to make the videos better, amounts I was paying my editor, it started to be, I am spending more money on this than this is making me. And it like I had to admit that it was time to let it go. Yeah. But that wasn't because of an absence of hard work. I fucking worked my butt off to keep that channel running. But yeah, I guess like the perceived failure, like I feel like I failed the channel, but when you zoom out and take a look at it, I was successful for a little bit of time there, I think.
Yeah, well, and you have to be proud of that too. Like, I mean, you can feel how you want to feel about it, but I think feeling a sense of pride in what you did do, I think is important because you really are successful and awesome. So,
oh my God,
that's
girl.
just my opinion. But
thank you.
So I guess in that same sense too, like writers, you know, if you do want to talk about writers and the hard work that they put into themselves and the work that they do just to try to even get the opportunities and the possibilities to become published, like, or given a chance, they continuously write and are constantly submitting things when they don't get the outcome that they want, right? What we mentioned before, that with like the no, or this isn't who you're looking for, or this is not really what we want to publish or whatever, verbiage can still have an effect on us, you know, because we're human and it hurts sometimes, for sure. The writer doesn't stop right? They're persistent and
They
they
keep
have the
writing.
mindset to keep trying. These perceived failures of not landing that book job or relationship can be reframed into learning experiences needing to build more skills in that certain thing.
Yeah. I think it takes necessary mistakes,
Mhm.
right? To learn how to get through the hard part and not giving up after the first failure, because you're failing, and
Right.
that sucks, right?
It does. Yeah.
You have to learn. Like, one way to look at these situations is taking rejection not as an attack on you as an individual. It's not that we don't like your book, right?
Right. Or like you as a person.
Yeah. But like, we're going to get a little nerdy here, but like a bad roll of the dice, right? Like
Yes.
the RNG gods were not with you this time, but maybe your next
RNG.
roll is going to be a nat 20, baby,
Right? Yeah. No, that's actually a really good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Plus, I love the nerdy sense of that too. That's
Because we nerds. Yeah, I think it's important not to give up too early. And something I think about is like this podcast, for example. So we started it after I had success with my YouTube channel. And so one could easily look at the podcast as a failure because it didn't do well or as good as the YouTube channel did, right?
Right.
But I'm not giving up. I'm not saying, well, because we only have 30 to 40, sometimes 50 not monthly, but average listeners on our episodes, this sucks. No one wants to listen to us. But if you put 50 people in a room, that's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. 50 people is a lot. And so for all of you guys that are like sticking with us, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I know
Like, that's
we don't
quite awesome.
always, I know, like we have a lot to say and sometimes we say nothing at all. Like, all right, y'all, we acknowledge luck totally being a thing and hard work has its place too. But what about those unexplained instances that feel too significant to be a coincidence? It's not quite luck, but it's something in between, right? All the what ifs that life throws at us.
Yeah. So earlier we touched on being in the right place at the right time, being a moment of luck. But it's hard not to think that it's actually like, is it actually luck? Or did your hard work prepare you for that moment? Did the stars align perfectly so the timing was right when you were ready?
Ooh, okay. I get where you're going here. So this can be thought of like in the sense of a band catching a big break at a gig, right?
Yeah.
Was it just right timing that a scout was sitting at the bar that night? Or did the years of music lessons and practice sessions and hard work lead you to be able to book the gig in the first place, right?
Right. Yeah. Or maybe you bump into someone who turns out to be the perfect match, right? In relationship standard wise. But if you hadn't done the emotional work, after your last breakup, you wouldn't be in the right place to receive
right?
the love,
I'm all about
right?
this. This is so important.
So, and you might have pushed the one away. Like
No.
where no,
No, not the one.
not the one. But so your past decisions and everything and what you've learned up to this point put you into that moment?
Or were you lucky?
Or were you lucky? Or was it timing?
Oh man, that's you're getting philosophical on me now.
I know.
It's hard not to think because like, man, do I believe in right place at right time?
So do I, yeah.
But also, like, I have so many instances of right place, right time. But then when I look back at how I got to that place, it was almost building up. I was meant to be there,
An accumulative of things.
Yes. Accumulative of that word that I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Of things all had to happen to get me to the place, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And that's the preparation, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
And also RNG gods.
They gonna do what they gonna do. When talking about the in-between, it's hard not to think about the sliding door effect.
What's that?
Okay, good question. And listen, I love this theory so much. This is very fun for me.
Okay.
It really, really makes you ponder and think. We were just talking about getting philosophical. Like this is on another level.
Perfect.
Okay. It's basically the thought or idea of how different would your life be if one tiny moment had gone differently.
Oh.
So similar to like the butterfly effect, except one tiny moment changes the trajectory of everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
An example, you missed your 8:00 train, so you have to catch the 8:15. Now you're sitting next to different people who have the opportunity to meet and chat with someone who could maybe offer you a job, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that conversation never would have happened if you didn't miss that original train.
Oh.
It's something like super small that changes your entire life. And this could be as simple as like downloading an app or like moving to a new city, going to a party that you almost skipped. It's like all these really small behaviors change everything.
Okay, so at the same time, these moments feel insignificant, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then like when you look back on it, you are like, oh, that changed everything.
Yeah. Like literally exactly that.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
big moments that just throw your life off.
Throw your life off. Yeah, that's interesting. I have kind of, I guess, an example of this.
Okay.
So it's kind of like how I met my husband.
What?
Yeah. So like things were happening in my life that we don't need to go into is like deep, but like things were happening. I wasn't necessarily very happy with what was happening. I was working a couple jobs and going to college at the same time. And so like pulling a U. And then
Nope.
but the job that I was at the moment, someone came in and offered me a position at a different place.
Oh.
Because of how I was talking and how I was
like holding yourself,
the hard work that I had put in the hard work that I had put into my own customer service, right?
Yeah.
And so that got me a business card to be handed to me. And then I was like, okay, sure, I'll think about it. And then I pondered on it for a really long time, and something that my gut feeling, I guess, or like the stars were aligning, or I don't know. I was like, you know what? Yes, let's do
Mercury is in retrograde.
Yeah. So I took the chance. I applied. I got the job. And then a couple months later, this cutie patootie comes in and is hired on the next like higher round. Okay.
What?
Yes. And so there he was. And then he and I became close. And now we've been married for quiz, like 16 plus years. We've been together for like 18 years.
That's adorable. Yeah. Had you not even been working that shift?
Right. Exactly. And honestly, I was not feeling good that day. Like I remember specifically, I was literally about to call off also. So I was like, fine, I'll go in because I needed the money.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you ever think about like, what if you would have called off that day?
Do I ever think about that?
Yeah. Like if you would have called off that day, you wouldn't have went in.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have met your hubby.
Yeah.
You know?
Everything would have been completely different. I don't know if I necessarily want to think of that.
Yeah. I mean, that's so crazy. That's a small decision can impact everything. Mm-hmm. I have a story that's like that. I said earlier that I would tell you how we got involved with all the AFMAO stuff.
Yes.
So I used to work in marketing in Las Vegas many moons ago. And I worked with a guy named Timothy. And he was the person in charge of all of our Las Vegas casinos. And I was the person in charge of all of our Midwest casinos. We had the same job, just different casinos that we managed.
Okay.
And we were out scouting one of the casinos together. We were like looking at their marquees and all this stuff and doing research. It's funny because we were like, we could just leave work early and just go home and not deal with this,
Right.
No one will know because we were on site. And I was still kind of new at the job. And I was like, I don't want to get in trouble. He's like, yeah, but we finished all the work. And I was like, you're not wrong, but there's cameras everywhere, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so if we walk off the casino property, our boss could hypothetically know that we had left, right?
Right.
And so we just sat down like in front of one of the screens to look like we were doing research on one of the screens, and we were just chatting it up.
Yeah.
And during this time, I was also streaming on Twitch, but I didn't tell anybody. Like this was, and for those of you that are in my community, like remember, like I used to be and still am very secretive about my life. And so like I've shared a lot on the podcast, but the things I'm saying here, I've never like said on streams, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I had just, I don't know why I opened up to Timothy and told him, oh yeah, I stream on Twitch on the side. He had no idea what Twitch was, you know?
Yeah.
And I showed him what Twitch was. I'm like, yeah, I live stream. I do all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, that's really cool. And then like, I don't know, 3 months later, Timothy quits. He is like, screw this company, like working in Las Vegas is soul sucking, which it is, you know. And he went and started working for AFMAO. And so flash forward a couple of months later, like he left, like I'm by myself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm at a convention, I'm at a TwitchCon, and he messages me and he's like, hey, are you at TwitchCon right now? And I'm like, yeah, why? And he's like, well, hypothetically, if I had someone there who would be interested in talking to you about a hypothetical job opportunity, would you hypothetically be interested?
So many
and
hypotheticals.
I was like, hypothetically, I could be interested in talking about a new job, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I met with a guy named David, and they basically told me that AFMAO was hiring and looking for like a content creator to like play with her in video games, and then I would have my own channel and they would help me like build my channel and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, yeah, like sure, you know?
Yeah.
And had I not told Timothy I play video games, because again, I didn't tell anybody because I worked a very professional job. I didn't want people to be like, what are you doing? Like, we can't take you seriously now, you know?
Yeah.
But had Timothy and I not finished that job early, not like sat down and talked, had we actually just left the casino and said, fuck it, you know, let's go home.
Yeah.
Like, I would never have told Timothy that I streamed on Twitch, and I never would have worked for AFMAO, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Those little pieces of information that you think are insignificant in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just become this whole big thing. It's wild. It's also kind of about like gut feelings too, right? Like, you know, that gut feeling you get when something's about to happen.
Yes.
Yeah. Or you're in a situation that feels like super duper familiar.
Oh.
Yes. That's your subconscious quickly going through all of your experiences of similar situations and then calculating the best outcome for the next one and communicating these feelings through your gut.
Oh, okay. I have heard about this, and I've actually done some like research and all of that fun stuff because I really
you love a little
my
research,
gut,
mama.
Right? Okay, so we're gonna get a little science-y here. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I like it.
Okay, so the gut and the brain are connected in a special way. The central nervous system triggers the adrenaline, cortisol, and neurons that are then sent down to like your intestines and then back to the brain, causing a reaction in your gut that signals a physical response in your body. Thus,
like nervous poops.
Yeah.
I get
like
those.
that gut feeling is that communication between, because your brain, obviously your guts don't have like your brain power, right? But it triggers those things that make your gut like uncomfortable or something like that. So thus the gut feeling saying has become popular in navigating our decision making and intuition when it comes to that job, relationship, chance, and opportunities that come across our paths. Because your gut is like, oh, I don't like, this doesn't feel right, or I'm uneasy about this, or I feel really good about this. That's that brain gut communication moment, which triggers that like that physical response.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I always just get nervous poops, but yeah. When I'm like super nervous about something, or like my gut is like literally like, hey, I'm here. But yeah, I'm trying to think of an instance where I've had like, because I've definitely had like gut moments, like that intuition that you're really feeling. But
yeah.
what about you? I'm going to ponder something.
Okay, you ponder.
I want you to tell me if you have any of those.
Okay, so, well, the first one that I had talked about was that gut feeling about taking that job, right? Which led me to meet my husband. Okay.
So cute. We love that.
Another, I guess, more recent one was I went to a con called Dragon Steel Con. It's like a book writer con. It's like huge. Brandon Sanderson, whatever. I don't know if you know about Brandon Sanderson, but nerd
I
book
don't know.
talk.
I just think of the Anderson or the Sanderson sisters.
It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. But my husband and I go, and he knows some people there because of his connections and stuff like that too. But I had a gut feeling that I wanted to go over to the Dungeon Crawler Carl booth, and that's
Nerd.
been in. Yeah, I know, but listen, great series, amazing, highly recommend. But what I'm saying is, like, I wanted to go over there. And so my husband had to go check on something at a different booth. And he's like, I'll just meet you over there. And I was like, perfect. And so I go over there, and then I'm like looking at all the stuff. And then there's this like guy next to me. He's also looking at the stuff. And I'm kind of like listening in on conversations. And I'm an outgoing, talkative person anyways. And so I insert myself in the conversation. And then all of us start talking. And I start talking to this guy about like the con and life and family and whatever. And then my husband comes up behind me, and I'm like, hey, babe, whatever. And then he's like, oh, I have books for you to sign. And he points at the guy that I was talking to. And I do like one of those cartoon moments of like, look at him, back and forth. And it turned out I was talking to the author of Dungeon Crawler Carl.
And you had no idea.
I had no idea, but I just had a gut feeling that I wanted to go over to this area. And it put me into a situation of really cool moment.
Yes. You got to meet someone of a book series that you like really, really
that
love.
I really like. Yeah. And so I was like, holy crap.
That's amazing.
So that was pretty, that's another gut feeling, I guess. I always trust my gut or my brain, I guess.
I was gonna be like, I trust my poops. No. Yeah. So your example is so good. I don't think I have something quite like that comes to mind off the top of my head. But yeah. All right. We'll leave it there.
Okay. All right.
Let's switch into something a little interesting, right?
Ooh, okay.
All right. What about the thought of like your expectations can act as self-fulfilling prophecies?
Ooh.
Okay. If you expect good things to happen, then you open up yourself to be more inviting. You take a job interview, for example. If you go in thinking that you got this in the bag, right? It's going to be easy. Your answers will be more confident. You're smiling more. You're giving off a better impression than if you were just an absolute nervous wreck. At its core, what we expect to happen subtly changes how we behave.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
So if you expect good things to happen, you might put yourself out there to talk to more people, take more chances, and just generally be more open.
Right. And like on the opposite of that, right? If you consistently expect bad things to happen, you might assume people are out to get you, accept failure too early, and self-sabotage yourself in situations because of that mindset.
Yeah. So this is like kind of that like creating luck that we're talking about, just like self-perceived prophecy. Have good expectations.
Yeah.
I used to be this way. I did used to like expect good things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I watched a Jenna Marbles video, and Jenna Marbles is my all-time favorite online content creator. For those of you that are maybe too young to even know who she is or like have basked in her glory, my goodness, do I feel just sad for you? Because she was amazing. And she had a video about expectations. I'll give you like the short of it, right?
Okay.
She was essentially saying that if you go into a situation with no expectations, then you will find yourself pleasantly surprised. Then if you go into an expectation with good expectations, right? Like you want something good to happen, but it doesn't happen, you're putting yourself in a situation to be upset, right? And so this video was all about like positivity and like how to change your mindset. That was like her key of like why she's so happy-go-lucky, is because she doesn't expect anything. She doesn't expect videos to go viral. She doesn't expect to get brand deals or whatever. Like she just does it with no expectations. And then if it does well, cool, that's awesome. And if it didn't go well, okay, that sucks. We learned from it. But you're not putting yourself in a position to let yourself down. And that completely changed my mindset. I was like, I love that.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So while I think self-fulfilling prophecies is really interesting, and like, I do believe there is something there, right? There's something to be said about walking into a place confident versus nervous.
Right.
Expecting things, I think, can put you in a funk later if it doesn't always happen, right?
Right. I agree with that too. And something to like kind of think about, I guess, too, is like, because I really like this. And there was a book written in 2006. I don't know if you know this, called The Secret.
Oh, I watched this documentary.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So it talks about the law of attraction and what positive affirmations can do for you and how they affect your everyday life and decisions you make. Simply put, positive thoughts attract positive outcomes and negative thoughts attract negative outcomes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that like forced positivity is the way to go here, because that's not healthy. But what I'm saying is that your mindset and the words you say have power over you as a human, right?
Agreed.
So scientifically proven, what you say matters and how your brain synapses connect in ways of thinking.
You said a big word.
How your brain waves connect.
Your brain waves. Your brain waves. You're doing... No, but for real, like, okay, so putting that into action, right? Picture what you want has already happened. Okay. I do this. So tell yourself you already got the job. I'm rich. I'm confident, right? Soon your brain will start to believe it and like vibrate. We're getting a little woo-woo here, but it's fine. I'm into it. We love it. But your brain will start to vibrate on the frequency to will that into existence, right? They're like, that's where that phrase, dress for the job you want, comes into play, right? Or hang around the people you wish to be like. Law of attraction isn't just some like magic belief, right? That like everything you think will come true. It's not that. But I think it's more of like a mindset shift that allows you to open up your mind to opportunities that you might have ignored if you were closed off, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. A huge part of like this manifestation culture is just being grateful for like what you have. Focusing on the good helps attract more good things into your life instead of saying, I'm so broke. Think of other ways, like you're already rich in your current life, whether with friends, experiences. Like focus on the things that you already have and be grateful for that instead of like what you don't necessarily have. And that could also change your mindset to like those going into things without expectations, like you were saying too. Like, because if you are grateful for the stuff that you have accomplished kind of already too, and this also I feel would be a call back to way like your self hard work, right? This plays into that too, of like therapy and becoming aware of this as well too. So it all plays together, I feel. Definitely.
I feel like your mindset is so important, and like words have so much power, right? Like there's so much here that we can't explain. This is why this whole like section is just like unexplained little things, right?
Yes. Yeah.
The idea that our brain vibrates on different frequencies and we're like putting stuff out into the universe, right? And it's coming back to us is, I think, real. That's why like crazy attracts crazy, right?
Right. Yeah.
If you are super crazy and you have this like wild life and things are always in your mind happening to you, you know, you're going to attract more crazy events in your life. Things are going to just feel very chaotic until you figure out how to calm down and like find the calm in life.
Yeah.
I have a friend who always has something fucking going on. And I'm just like, how do you keep finding yourself in these situations? Like, I I literally don't understand it, you know? And I think that she's just a little cray cray, and her vibration, like frequency, is just attracting this like weird energy, you know?
Yeah. 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 Well, and I've always said too, like everything vibrates at a certain frequency, right? And it's just science.
Yeah.
Personally, because let me adjust my glasses here.
Ooh, nerd.
Nerd. I know.
Do like the one like push up with your
actually
finger and then sniff.
But like your cells vibrate, right? Everything
Sure.
within you vibrates. And so like, and then if you have the mindset and you change these mindsets and the synopsis is in your brain, there's that fancy word again.
Waves.
And like the brain waves, man. If you change that way of thinking, it also physically changes things within your body as well. And so when you start truly like taking those failures, those lucky opportunities or the hard work, and you start putting those things together, it just kind of all steamrolls into the one thing of like, how do you as a human interpret those things?
Yeah.
Moving forward. How do you take those experiences and turn them into that? And those words that you give yourself and the words that you say outwardly, like I said, so strong. So,
well, it's funny you say like, 'cause, yeah, words are so strong, and I should have Googled this really quickly, but like while you were talking, because it just came to mind, but I didn't. Yes. So take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt, but I'm like 90% sure this is a real thing. Okay. So I could be liar, pants with fire to you right now, but I'm pretty sure this is real. And it's going to sound fucking fake as hell. I promise you it's not, but
all right.
Scientists can't explain it. And it's not just like some bullshit you heard in Frozen 2. Okay. So water has memory, right?
Yes.
And scientists, I believe, did an experiment where before taking a sip of water, they had whispered negative things to the water. Oh. And then they did a control where they did nothing. And then they did another one where they whispered positive things into the water. Ooh. And then they, I want to say they like did some like process tests to see like what it did to the water. And it made the molecules do something sciencey. Like, again, I'm not making this sound real, but it is. Yes. And then the people who drank the negative water and people who drank the positive water had negative and positive things happen to them.
Interesting.
On a repeated scale, right? So
right, yeah.
They're doing it consistently for however long, whisper negative things every time you take a drink of water, you know? And yeah, it changed these people's lives. And so like that's why like witches, right? Like
yeah,
words have power, and that's where that comes from, is like the feeling. And like I like witchcraft. I think that stuff is really interesting. I'm sorry for anyone that's like super into Christianity that we might be offending right now, but like I don't think of it as like a demon devil worship thing. I think of it as intentionality and moving with intention and speaking things into existence with intention, and not so much of like, I'm going to burn this sage and I'm going to make this thing in my cauldron.
Right.
While that is a version of witchcraft, right? I like to practice more in the sense of like, it's the intention behind it. So
Right.
if speaking things into existence is how you are practicing intention, that's something. If putting stuff in a cauldron is how you are being mindful and putting stuff and being intentional about something, that's what works for you. If just thinking about it is intention, then that's intention, right?
Yeah. Well, and I would say, I mean, even to bring everybody into this too, the power of prayer is the same thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So words have power. When
Words
you put
have
that
power.
out into the universe and you are asking for certain things or whatever, what have you, that's the same type of like intention. That's the same type of mindset. That's the same type of frequency that you are putting out to hopefully get back in. To note on your water experiment thing, I have heard this done with plants. So you are not crazy.
Yeah. It's a thing. It's a fucking thing.
It's a thing. So like,
and
there was
scientists
a
are
scientist.
What?
Yeah. And then there was a scientist who did kind of the same thing as like you said with water, but with plants, where he would talk positively to a certain plant and it would thrive. And then he talked negatively to a plant, same everything, right?
Same
Because
conditions,
yeah, same conditions. But he talked negatively to it and it died.
Oh my God.
And he tried
Poor
it again
baby.
just to prove a point. And I was like, stop killing plants. But like
They're alive.
they're alive. But yeah, it's the same thing. So so like the hard work and experiences and the luck that play into things also circle back to your mindset and what you put out.
100%. It's easy to want to believe if we just work hard and trust the process that luck and life will just fall into our lap, that everything will work out. But what about the instances where we do all the things and it still doesn't turn into success? When we blame our failures on luck, it's a coping mechanism, protecting us from rejection. But what if we just admit that we gave up too soon? Taking accountability for our own actions instead of placing the blame on outside factors.
Right? Before throwing in the towel, ask yourself honestly, did I actually try consistently? Was I open to feedback? Was I looking at success the wrong way? Because yeah, right. Oof. Because assuming success is outside your control sounds like you're just protecting yourself from even trying in the first place.
Ouch, Hannah.
Sorry. Listen.
You're not wrong though. Like,
no.
I think we've said it before on the pod, but like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take or something, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're throwing in the towel because you're like, why even bother? Why try?
Yeah.
I don't know. You're just going to end up failing anyways. Like just take accountability for your actions and just don't be like, well, I'm just unlucky. Like,
right. And nobody likes the call out, right? I understand that. But sometimes you need the call out to then self-reflect.
That's true. Okay. But what about all the people who still work hard and don't see any success, right? It's easy to think you're falling behind from your peers. Maybe you went to the same college, had the same opportunities, but they still came out ahead.
Right? Like, were they just luckier than you? Did they work harder? It makes you begin to start questioning and doubting yourself for sure. Like, how long do you keep working hard if you don't see any visible evidence that it's not paying off?
Yeah,
maybe
that's true.
We continue on because we have strong work ethics and we don't want our name and like laziness to be in the same sentence. You know what I mean?
Definitely don't want that. No.
Right? Yeah. But it's hard not to compare yourself to peers when you put in as much time and effort as they did, but not see and you see them get the promotion instead of you.
That is hard because if you and Joe Schmo are the same, you're the same in every which way, but Joe Schmo got it instead of you, you're like, why not me? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that maybe too, like you got to think back as to maybe the RNGs are not doing you a service here, right? So maybe this job wasn't actually for you. So that
you could be in the right place at the right time for another opportunity.
For sliding door effect.
Oh my God. It came full circle. No, but maybe.
Right.
But actually though, it's hard to believe in the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if Joe Schmo got the job because you were destined for something else?
Right? That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sliding door effect. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. But I feel like there's something about success stories that are always just really big and loud.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear about the years of grinding where nothing happened at all. And for some of the bigger success stories, there's more failure than actual success.
Yep.
I think that's what sets these people apart, is that they don't let those failures stop them.
Mm-hmm.
This sometimes can make them perceived as robots, like Elon Musk, or they are put on a pedestal as better, but they are just as human.
Yeah.
Unless
I would
Elon
say,
Musk.
ugh, yeah, we don't, and that's a whole other, anyway.
He's an alien. No, I'm kidding.
But like, for example, like, I'm sure you've heard of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He's a very successful individual and known as like one of the best basketball players of all time.
Doubles.
Did you know? Doubles.
Doubles.
But did you know that he was actually cut from his high school basketball team?
What?
Yeah. He also missed over like 9,000 shots and lost nearly 300 games in his entire career.
Okay. Well, maybe he sucks at basketball. No, I'm kidding.
But like he transformed, I know, but he transformed those failures into motivation. He pushed himself even harder because he changed his mindset on that, right? So I would say unless the person like writes a memoir, right, of their stories and experiences and the proof of the work that they put into it, it goes unmentioned. Like it goes unnoticed sometimes.
Yeah. I think that's such a good point too, because you really don't know how much someone has failed because all we really hear is the success stories. And it sometimes it feels like overnight success, right? But that person knows that it wasn't. It was a grinding effort. We had actually found a really interesting article that it gets really deep. And so like we don't have time to discuss it, but it fully talked about a bunch of different groups that they like found studies for, and one of them was like a terrorist organization and like a grant organization, and then like scientists, and it over several years and thousands of these studies or whatever, it looked at their successes versus failures. And here's an interesting quote from this article. So it said, some people learn from their failed attempts more than others, with those who learn more incorporating more components of their failed attempts into the later attempts. And that's what makes them successful.
Whoa.
Because they're learning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's really interesting. As always, I hope this episode gave you something to noodle on, whether it's believing that some success is in part due to luck, or maybe you realized it was your hard work that got you there in the first place. Either way, this week, we want you to think about holding yourself accountable. How do you know when to keep trying and not give up on progress, even though it's slow? I'll let you noodle on that one, but feel free to share your responses in our Discord or email us at somethingtonoodleon@gmail.com.
And join us next week when we figure out if you're the asshole.
Wait, what? We're not calling them assholes.
Yeah, you know those Reddit stories of like shitty people needing validation of their behavior was like assholery or not?
Yeah.
We should read those.
Okay. I love that. And, you know, it will be a nice break from all these heavy topics that we've been covering. So, yeah. Okay. Well, we'll figure all that out next week on Something to Noodle On. But until next time, bye.
Bye.